Welcome to another episode of That Crazy Triangle Guy, where we talk about triangles, parallel channels, bull flags, trend lines, and other geometric shapes and patterns, and yes, even cups and handles today. So we're looking at Bitcoin versus US dollar index on the 4 hour chart. And we're seeing the recent price action since mid-June, where have been consolidating into this yellow triangle. And the other pattern we have here is this bull flag pattern from back in June. Now, what happened with this triangle? We shot right out the end of it, broke out right at the end of it, came back up here. And kind of what we did is turn this symmetrical triangle, which was consolidating right around this point at $30,480, which is the exact point that we finished the end of the month of June, the quarter, and the what do you call that? It's half yearly thing, semester. Excuse me. So we finished that at exactly 30,480, and kind of started forming a ascending triangle pattern marked here in the aqua, which kind of comes to a vertex here at the FOMC meeting, July 26th. Now, I imagine that before that time, we will expand some sort of a triangular shape of consolidation centered around here that doesn't quite have the vertex coming to a finale there. What's the word I'm looking for? But maybe somewhere out here. Anyway, so from this symmetrical triangle here, and into this ascending triangle that we're forming, we are also forming another perfectly symmetrical triangle centered around 30,480, and it is a perfect duplicate of our previous triangle. And to show this, I have this parallel line right here that I cloned off of the top of the triangle here. And I will pick that up and I will drag it over here so that you can see that this is, in fact, an exact replica of the previous triangle. And you can see we hit the point here, we hit this point here. Same thing for the bottom. I don't want to move this right now, but if I did, well, you know what I could do? I can move this one. And you can see that it's perfectly in line with the previous triangle. I'm going to have that out. Oh, you know what I'll do? I will do this little thing here. There we go. So now, in just a few hours, a couple hours, just in, wow, not that long, we will get the results of the latest CPI numbers and PPI numbers tomorrow. So I expect some extreme volatility. The breakout targets from. Okay. Hey, where? This is no good. Hold on a second. I'm going to have to stop the video and come back to you in a second. All right, we're back. Something got erased somehow and didn't save, I guess. Anyway, where were we? We were looking at. Let me go a little bit smaller. So, target from this triangle right here, the aqua triangle that we are trading in, symmetrical triangle, about 30,480, exactly like the previous symmetrical triangle. The breakout target for that would be this leg of the triangle, which I've carried over here, and that puts us exactly in the center of these two yellow dotted yellow horizontal lines, and the importance of those lines goes back here to what were the dates? May 24th, May 21st, 2022. Let's go to that date. Wow, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, we're up here. The dates were May 31st, 2022. That's the bottom line, and it represents this high right here. It's an important high. And the top line represents the low of here in January 24th, 2022. That's why those lines are there. And the target from our symmetrical triangle currently is right in the middle of those two lines. Now, the breakdown target from that area is I've carried the arrow over here and placed it at the bottom of the triangle, assuming we break out at the announcement of the CPI data. Interestingly enough, the breakdown target is the top, is this red curve here, and that red curve represents the top of our weekly Gaussian channel, which in the past we have, after a breakout through that channel, I will momentarily go on a weekly time frame to show you this. You know what? Do I have one over here? We're on the daily there. You know what? I will open up another one and go to a weekly time frame. Here we go. Turn on our little Gaussian channel, and let's put this on auto. So you can see as we've broken out in the past here in April 2019, zoom in, we came up, came back down, and retested this. Again, back here in 2015, 16, came up, came down, and retested it. Now, I've shown in previous videos we are not actually retesting the top of the Gaussian channel. What we're in fact doing is retesting support that we previously had coming down from the previous all-time high. That's what we did here, and that's what we did back here. Well, here we did, and anyway, that's not a good example there. The other one's better. This one, and back in 2012, Also, we could see that we were testing previous support in this area when we came down and hit the top of the Gaussian channel. This one over here is a little bit funky because of COVID. It's a little bit weird. Anyway, um, so I don't know. We got a kind of a general range right here. I don't think we necessarily have to come all the way back down to the top of the Gaussian channel on the weekly time frame. As long as let's get this off of auto. Really anywhere in this range. I mean, we're even doing it right now at $30,000. I don't think we need to necessarily come back down there. We're testing our previous support levels. So, but it was just interesting to note that that does come right down here to the top of the weekly costing channel. So I expect some volatility right now in the next couple hours. Maybe we do get a wick. Hard for me to imagine we'll get a wick down that far. Um, Now this green dotted line represents the daily Gaussian channel. And the top of that currently is at about 28,900. Possibly a wick down there, or just simply possibly a wick down here to the 29,460, or no wick at all. We just shoot straight up. We are in a symmetrical triangle, and it's an exact replica of this one because everybody's just uncertain which direction we're going to go. It's consolidating around the exact same number. It's just so we're going to go one way or the other or both, and we won't know for a couple hours. So let me erase this line because we don't need it anymore. Got too many lines here on the charts. Now we also have. I talked about possibly extending our extending triangle. If we do break out here, maybe we see a pullback into further consolidation in this range into the FOMC meeting, and I do not um, uh, put that out of the picture. I think that's probably really likely that happens, and if so, if this white line represents a possible uh, range that we will continue to trade in and continue our ascending triangle pattern. Now, so I talked about the targets from this aqua symmetrical triangle. The target here from our ascending triangle, if in fact we do continue to form that, would be up here at about 34,500. I've carried this white line over to here. Actually, I can move it down here over by the FOMC meeting, which is interesting because it is about the same as this target. And what is that target? Well, that's the target from this parallel bull flag we had originally been forming, this parallel channel bull flag. And that is the breakout target from that with this pull of the flag right here, which I've carried over to here. So that's very, very interesting that those two match up. And ultimately, what is this big green arrow here? This big green arrow is the breakout from this extremely long bull flag parallel channel we had been forming from mid-March 23 all the way to mid-June. March, April, May, June, 3 months. So that's a very, very, very strong pattern we were forming there, and it would indicate that this breakout would occur here. Here's our pole, and I put our pole over there. That target is about 40,000, just over $40,000. Now I've estimate that we hit that sometime in August over here. Okay, so we did enough with that. Oh, also a lot of people are mentioning the cup and handle pattern that we are forming, which I've drawn here, and I've used an ellipse because it was the closest shape I could easily draw the bottom half of the cup here. Here's our cup, which we've been forming exactly over a year. I mean, this is a perfect cup and handle formation. Here's our handle right here, and the breakout target from that is this measured distance here from over at the breakout of the handle, which we did right here, and I'm looking for a continuation of that right now over the course of the next few months. And that target is up here around almost $55,000. So I've drawn this path here kind of to estimate, a pattern, some sort of price action that we may follow. It's very reasonable to expect some sort of action like this to follow, and it stays consistent with the parallel channel we've been trading in since the FTX collapse in November. Actually, kind of this trend line goes back here into September and October of last year, almost a year ago. So, and this path that I've drawn is consistent with the weekly Gaussian channel here, estimated by the dotted red line here. Possibly a retest of that out here in September at around $32,000, something like that. So that's in September. Let's see, September 18th. Let's go to a different chart that has. Okay, this has the daily Gaussian channel, and I have an estimate of that continuing on here. By the way, we have turned green and going upward there. Let's see, September 18th. That's way out here. And I have us at about, it's off the chart. September 18th, 32,000. Yeah, that would bring us back into that channel and actually out the bottom of it. And so that happens with the daily Gaussian channel, and I will show you here as I zoom out. Let's turn this on auto. In our bull markets, that happens a lot with the Gaussian channel on the daily. We fall into it and go up. It's better shown back in 2015. Let's go back here. Yeah, 2015 is a good representation of how that has happened on our bull run, where we've fallen into the daily Gaussian channel at the bottom, back up, fallen through, back up, fallen through, back up, and so on and so forth. So that's completely normal. What else do I have here? I showed this chart. Did I show this chart? Well, I stopped for a second to get my bearing. Yes, that's about it. Oh, I don't want to be here. I want to be here, I think. So yeah, this is what I think we're looking at over the course of the next heading into October here. See us up around 55,000 or so. And the lines that I've drawn here, this little path that I've drawn, is consistent with target of around 35,000 mid-July here in the next couple weeks. Target of 40,000 in August. Pullback. We'll have to see this if this happens in September. I'm not going to say. Who knows what's going to happen? This is just a prediction, and it'll be modified as we move forward. You can't possibly know what's going to happen in several months, but this general trend is what I see, and not necessarily these exact movements, but we'll see what happens. Now, so that's about it, and here's some pictures of my vacation. That's where I've been for the past week. This is Mildred Lake up above Convict Lake in California, in the eastern Sierras. I hiked up to there. It's about a 5 mile hike, and not many people went up there, and I will show you why in just about a second here. Um, oh, that's this is my downloads, so that's an old video. So there's Mildred Lake. There was frogs up there. Here's a frozen little pond right here that I stuck my feet in. There's our fireworks above Crowley Lake. This is Virginia Lakes. This is at the top of Virginia Lakes. Um, this, I believe, this is Horsetail Falls, I believe, at Twin Lakes. And this is Sardine Falls up at Sonora Pass. We hiked about a mile and a half. Oh, and we went on a little hike to see the Horsetail Falls too in the previous picture. This is a fun little hike here. This is a powerful waterfall right there. And that's another portion of it further downstream. This one is at Lundy Lake, I believe. Lundy Lakes. Um, that was a nice little hike. The trail was totally snowed in, though. We didn't even know where it went, so we couldn't go much further than that. This is Box Lake. That's above Rock Creek Lake by Tom's Place in California. And it's funny. The dog we were with jumped in the water and tried to get on top of the snow here, but it just kept breaking off. It was funny. There's my tent. Our tent. Our tent. Now this is where Mildred Lake is up above here. So I hiked here and I followed these other people up there. I was in shorts and a tank top. It was in the upper 60s, low 70s actually. Um, so I followed. Why can't I move this? I followed those people up there. I think they were staying longer. That's why they were dressed as they are, possibly overnight. Anyway, there's a big cascading river coming down this mountain from Mildred Lake and other lakes that are up there. And the snow was cracking and falling into it. We had to hike past that right there. And that's why everybody else was turning around. They didn't want to have to, because actually, about where this guy's at, maybe up a little further here, there's another cascading river coming down the mountain and joining this one. And so we had to actually cross the snow there. That was a little bit dangerous, but it was all solid. So I wasn't concerned. And there's another, this is the same area. What you were looking at before is up here to the right of the screen. And that was gushing underneath, down the mountain. And I think that's about it for my pictures. So like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time and see what happens in a couple hours. Or it's not even that long away now. It's coming next. All right, bye. Oh my god, I wasn't sharing my video on the previous, or I wasn't sharing my screen on the previous video. So here's Mildred Lake. Sorry about that, guys. I don't want to go this way. That's just about a little bit above 10,000 feet. And a lot of people weren't going that way, and I'll show you why in a minute. There's fireworks over Convict Lake. I'm sorry, fireworks over Crawley Lake. I was playing around with the camera trying to get the best shot. That is Virginia Lakes, the top of Virginia Lakes. That is, I believe that is Horsetail Falls. And that is at Twin Lakes, I believe. These are all in the eastern Sierras in California. That is Sardine Falls. And that was about a 1.5 mile hike off of the 108 by the Sonora Pass. That's a very powerful waterfall. It's really nice. Nobody was out there. That's another portion of Sardine Falls. And this is a waterfall at Lundy Lake, I believe. That is the Box Lake up above Rock Creek Lake on the Little Lakes Valley hike. And that's where my one of the dogs that was with us tried to. She loves the water, and she went in and she tried to jump out up on the ice here, and just kept falling through. There's our tent, and this is why people weren't hiking up to Mildred Lake, which was up here. Those are the people that I followed up there, and they were dressed like they were probably hiking further inland and into the mountains, and probably camping out or something. And I was in shorts and a tank top and hiking shoes, because it was about 70 degrees. This is where all the snow, this is really, really thick snow, and it's falling into the river that's cascading down from this lake. There's also another river up by this guy coming down from the mountain over here that's feeding into the other river. So we had to actually cross over that. I guess it was kind of dangerous. That's what was underneath. I guess the ice really isn't 8 to 10 feet thick over here anymore, or the snowpack, I should say, with the water gushing under it. So, yeah, a little dangerous. Is that all the pics up? There's more. I don't know what. Oh, that's my new video.